Hey folks, it's a chat with Glendora, and the title of this program is a really good title. It's called It Happened in Peekskill, New York. And here is my friend Christine to tell us all about the barber history, not in the beautiful beauty schools that your family started. When did they all start, Chris?
So our beauty school opened March of 1983.
1983. And how old were your dad and mom then?
Goodness gracious, that's a good question. Like in their 50s or 60s?
Oh no, I mean, were they like in their teens or in their 30s or in their 20s?
Oh no. They were not in their teens. They opened the school when they were in their 50s.
Oh really? And what did they do, Chris, up until then?
So my dad, Ernest Fusco, was got his license, his beauty school license in the service.
He did?
And then he did. He sure did. And when he finished, he started worked in Mount Vernon, and he had 6 salons. They were called the La Scala chains, and he was called Mr. Ernest back then. And in 1959, he left La Scala. They sold all the chains, and they came. He came to Yorktown, New York,
Yes.
and then started this location because he decided no more hair in a salon, and he decided to open a beauty school and started March of 1983.
Chris, were there moments of doubt, or was it very successful from the beginning?
It was very difficult. Very, very difficult.
Oh, it was, honey?
You go from a barber, I mean, he was technically a barber, but when you go from owning a hair salon to owning a beauty school, it's like night and day. The paperwork was...
Oh, I can
a
imagine.
lot of paperwork.
Yeah.
And I came on in August of 83 because I was strong in admissions and administration, and I helped guide them to getting their federal financial aid, which took about 2 to 3 years to get that.
You got it, Chris?
Yes, the school has had federal financial aid since 1995.
Oh, good. And what did you tell them that made them give you the aid?
Well, I didn't tell them anything. I had to fill out all the forms. We had to go through a national accrediting commission, and we are nationally accredited to date. We are licensed by New York State Department of Education as well.
Yes.
We have been for all these years, and my family, my dad and mom, owned it up until 2009.
Wow, did they really? How many years was that, Chris?
Oh, goodness, 26 years.
Yeah, and were you still working hard with them?
Yes, I was there up until 2009. And then we sold the school to Empire Beauty School, which is now 14 years. Empire Beauty School has been here, and they are amazing because they have 75 locations.
They do?
We are Empire Beauty School now. We were Northern Westchester School of Hairdressing when we started back in March of 83.
Yes. Well, you know, folks, up along where they're talking about Yorktown and all those locations, they are all along, most of them are very close to the Hudson River Valley. Isn't that right, Chris?
That is so right. We're 2 miles from the Hudson River.
And it was all settled up here by the Dutch. And in fact, it's still very much Dutch Christian. You know, they have a slogan up here, if you're not Dutch, you're not much. And now, Chris, you're still with them, and you're the director of admissions?
I'm the executive director of the school.
Oh, of the school. Is it still as much fun as it was in the old days?
Well, you know what's great about it?
Tell me.
That I've known so many people for all the years that I was there, 26 years, and then when I left for over 10 years and came back, I met clients that were still coming to our clinic.
Yes.
At the UPS driver, Mario, he was still delivering UPS, so it was so great.
Yeah, isn't
Finally
it?
come back and see everybody. It was great, and I enjoy every bit of it. I love the school. I love working for Empire. They're strong. They have so many locations, so it's really been nice and fun.
It's nice. It's hometown, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Chris, what were some of the most glorious moments in the history of the school?
Well, I just really enjoyed. We were one location with my parents, and it got a little difficult with cost and whatnot with all the regulations. So by the time they sold, it was the best time to sell because Empire has so many locations. So they were able, they're able to, handle all the costs because they have so many locations. So it was great, though, to be working, with my family and also, educating students who struggle in traditional education, and they come here and they're so creative. And
are they creative?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
In what way, Chris? Tell me. I like that word, creative.
Some of our students are not traditional, where they can read, comprehend, write essays and whatnot. They're more artistic and have that creative side. So when they come in here, they have to, of course, go through our course book and our textbook, but they only have to do multiple choice questions, and then they can work with their hands and create some amazing, updos and cuts, and they can work with their hands, and it's so much easier for them, and they're so successful. So it's nice, because when they come in from saying, "Oh, I didn't go to college because I couldn't," I struggled with this, that, and the other thing, and then when they get here, they're able to, whip through all their tests and quizzes because they're multiple choice questions, and they're able to do just amazing practical work.
And Chris, when they changed hands, did they get any rest, or did they just go on working as hard as ever?
Working as hard as ever. This is a really, really, really rough. It's
challenging, right? It's challenging.
It's challenging. Yes, it's always been challenging, but it's okay. It's a good challenge.
It's good for you. That's a good attitude. Now, do you think when your grandchildren are going to continue?
Well, just so you know, my daughter is a hairdresser, and my daughter-in-law is a hairdresser. So,
isn't that great?
Isn't it great? And my mom is still alive. My dad passed 2 years ago, so he would be so excited.
Oh, sure.
Smiling up in heaven, knowing that I get to do this interview and talk about him, because he was amazing.
Yes, you really admired your dad, huh?
Well, yeah, and you know what was really great? When he passed, we had former students that I didn't even know that must have found out that came to his wake.
Oh, isn't that
so
beautiful?
Neat. It was really, really neat.
Oh, yeah, that's beautiful. So this has really gone on for, would you say 70, 80 years, or am I too high in the numbers?
Oh, no, we're 40 years.
Yeah, okay.
This 19 Bank Street in Peekskill has been here for 40 years in the same location.
Really?
19.
You have told us so many thrilling things about it. Can you think of anything else that thrilled you?
Peekskill, I've seen, from when we first started to now. It grew, and then it still has some growing to do now. But it's great. It's a really great location, and we have graduated, I don't even know how many people into the hairdressing and cosmetology industry, but it's over 500.
Yes.
So 500 people. So, we've touched a lot of lives, and that's reporting.
Folks, this is along the Hudson River where so many famous people lived. Franklin Delano Roosevelt, his wife Eleanor Roosevelt, and the Vanderbilts, right? Chris.
They're about 40 minutes up from us, yes.
Yeah, and a lot of wealth was along the river. The Harrimans, remember, in the New York Central Railroad, and all that money lived all along. It went right through Peekskill, didn't it, honey?
Yes, it sure did.
The railroad goes right through Peekskill, right along the Hudson River.
And then West Point with the military academy is up in there.
There you are. There's another one, right? And it goes into Hudson, up Hudson, the town of Hudson. It's only 3,000, but it's very famous.
Sure.
And, yeah, this is
It's
really.
soon to take the train from Poughkeepsie.
Did you ever have any famous people come to the salon?
Oh, yes, we did. As a matter of fact, in 2010, the movie, the HBO miniseries Mildred Pierce.
Oh, wow!
Was it? We were a Christopher's Restaurant. So I saw Kate Winslet. I saw Guy Pearce. I forget the director.
Oh, that's one. That was a thrill, wasn't it?
It was amazing, amazing. They took the front of our school.
They did?
A restaurant.
Did they? For how many minutes was it on the screen there? A long time?
So it was a 5-part miniseries, and we were in 2 of the parts where Mildred Pierce, Kate Winslet was she was the star in the show, and she was a waitress.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was right here in my location. I literally saw Kate Winslet every day for like 6 weeks.
No, really? Oh, that's a thrill.
Isn't that neat?
Oh, it's
and
neat.
Todd Haynes was the director, and I said this to him when he came. They kept coming in and out in our clinic, and I was just like, who is this person? Finally, they came to us, and he said they wanted to do they wanted this location to do a movie, and I was just like, oh, okay. And I asked him, why would you want this location? He said, because when you look out our window, you saw the old Steinbeck Howlands building, and it's a beautiful rounded building, and the all the older buildings. He said it's just perfect for this.
Oh, sure.
For this movie. I'm like, wow, I never thought of, I didn't think anything of it. So it was really, really cool.
Well, you're an enthusiastic person. You deserve good things like that. I'm going to back up and ask you, why did your daddy choose Yorktown? Do you know why?
Oh, Peekskill.
No, when he started out. Remember, he went to...
Because I don't know why. That was a good question. They came from the Bronx.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I know why. Because my aunt lived right next door to us, and he used to come up, and he loved it.
Oh, sure.
Across the street was for sale, and we bought it.
Oh, sure. And how did your daddy spell his last name?
S as in Frank, U-S-C-O, Cusco.
Yeah. And then your last name is spelled how?
Well, I'm a married now, so I'm Fragment.
And how is that spelled?
M-E-N-I. I'm Fragmenti. I'm a Fusco Fragmenti. My full name I changed. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, let's look into the future. What do you see in the future? What do you want to have happen?
Well, I would love for the school to stay in this area. It's one of the staples. It's probably one of the oldest. This is a beauty school, but I mean, businesses in the area, I don't really know of many that have been around.
Well, I don't see why it wouldn't stay in this area. It's a very lucrative area, and it's well populated, and it's very active. I don't see any reason it wouldn't stay in the Hudson Valley.
Yes, that would be great. I think it would be great. Our school is, there's not another beauty school. The next closest beauty school is like 30 miles in Newburgh.
Oh, really? Way up in Newburgh.
Yep, Newburgh, or Rockland County. There's another one in Rockland County. Other than that, our Manhattan location is the next location, other than Mount Vernon.
Yeah, And at the moment, it's doing very well, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we're doing well, and we can use anybody who would like to come to beauty school. Come down and see me, 19 Bank Street.
Oh, go around that one again and make the invitation again, Chris.
If anybody is interested in the beauty industry and would like to be a hairdresser or cosmetologist, you could contact me at 914-739-8400, and we can schedule a tour and give you all the information on what the industry is about.
Amy, why don't you go? Why don't you go, Amy?
I'm good, thank you.
Amy has beautiful hair. Chris, what changes in hairstyle have you seen that you like the most?
So, well, when I first started, big hair was in. Perms and poofy look and all that kind of good stuff. Now it's a straight look and, blow drying, and they want their hair pinned straight, and it's beach waves, and it's more on the casual end and not as,
We got 16 minutes done.
big hair. And I enjoy that. I like both, to be honest with you.
Really? And what hairstyle are you in, honey? What are you wearing?
Well, my hair's really curly, so I'll either wear it curly or I'll blow it straight.
Really?
Depends on my mood, I guess.
What did you say, Amy? Didn't you say something?
I said we're 16 minutes are done.
Oh, okay, thank you. Chris, one thing that I know is that along about 1963, around about 1958, the bouffant came in.
Yes.
Right, you remember that?
Oh, yeah. I wasn't born, but yes.
Oh, you weren't born there? Oh, my goodness.
Not quite yet.
Well, Chris,
I'm
95 years old there.
Oh, okay.
And the bouffant came in, folks, and it was all hairspray. Remember that? No, you don't remember that. It was all hairspray.
But I do know because I have pictures of it.
Yeah. And you know what that was a negative thing to me? You want to know why? What was a negative about that, dear? Women stopped wearing hats.
Oh,
And
true.
and the reason they stopped wearing hats, folks, was because of the bouffant. Because it ruined their hair stuff. It ruined their hairdo. So they stopped wearing hats. But Chris, I wear hats today. I have about 55 of them, hon.
That's great.
And I don't care if they're out of style or not. They always look good.
Yes, they do. I agree.
Yeah. I wish when I make videos for my TV show, and there's several people on the show, and they're all sitting around at a dinner table, and you see close-ups of most of the people, then all of a sudden you see Glendora with a hat. And it just makes the picture, honey. That hat.
That is true. So my mom is a hat.
Yeah.
Wow.
And people are always bringing me hats, Chris. They're always bringing
great.
Yeah. And so the collection is up to about 55.
That's great. That's wonderful.
And you see this hat I'm wearing now, folks? A woman in Peekskill gave me that hat. Her neighbor was clearing out her garage, and she found these two old hats. One is a purple and one is a green. And it's paisley, Chris. It's paisley.
Nice.
Yeah. And I don't care. They still look good. They just keep their personalities. Okay, I'm doing more talking than I should. You take over. Tell me some things you
That's
want.
okay. So if you wear hats, how are you for caring for your hair? Do you just...
Well, listen, I wear a wig.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that awful?
No, they're in.
Yeah, do you?
I have a lot of my students that come in with wigs.
No kidding, do they?
Yes, they do.
Long hair wigs, short hair?
Long hair wigs. They can get them because the ones they get are not really, they're not real hair, so they forever change,
Well, the artistry in wigs is really amazing. Boy, you can't tell that it's not real hair.
Well, also, too, I have a couple students one student that just graduated who makes his own wigs.
What'd you say?
He makes his own wigs.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. With the sewing machine and hair and the whole process.
Really, that's interesting. And is it for their personal use or?
And also for now they're starting to do clients and fitting wigs for them as well.
What do you see in the future for hairstyling and hair salons?
I'm not a hairdresser, so I'm not really sure, but I do know that, we do a lot of, shampoo blow dries.
Yeah.
We do have a lot of color clients that come in and like the balayages and they like the, our clinic prices are, they're so reasonable because students are performing the services.
Yeah.
So our like, a one process color is $38 because, because of those prices we pay for just product and usage of product. That's what they pay for. And we have a lot of clientele who come in and they do get great work because we have a licensed educator always there supervising and they work with them on consultation.
Yeah.
And it works great.
Is there, honey, anything that you would like the public to do for you?
I would like the public to come in, call us, and they can come into our clinic. We have an active clinic. Our clinic is Tuesday through
7
Friday,
minutes.
starting at 9:30, and they have to call to make an appointment. And our students get to practice on them because 425 hours of their program is for clinic practice and our advanced, portion of it. And if they don't get to work on a real client, then they have to work on their mannequin.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So how do
We have an active clinic, very active clinic where clients come in and we get,
And what do you mean by a word clinic, honey? What's
So our students, when they come into this program, in order for them to learn, they learn on their mannequins, but after, 525 hours, then they go into our advanced classroom.
wow?
They actually work on real clients in our clinic. It's not a salon. We can't call it a salon because it's more of a salon clinic.
I see.
And they are able to do clients without a license because they're under the
Oh, I get it. I get it now.
practice.
Yeah.
When they're done, they have to do. They can work in the industry, but they do have to take a state board, and all that practice helps them.
Yeah. Well, they're really very careful about taking care of the public.
Oh yeah,
Does it
there
cost?
are.
Does
There are pretty good Google reviews as well.
And so now give the name of your studio in
Empire Beauty School.
Empire
5
Beauty
minutes.
School. And what's the
18
address?
Bank Street.
What's the address, sweetheart?
19 Bank Street.
18 Banks, Peekskill.
9.
Yeah. Governor Pataki came from Peekskill. Remember that?
Yes, he did, and actually his office was across the street for a while when we had the school. Back then, yes, for sure. Yeah, he has a farm in Peekskill.
Oh, he still does?
I believe so.
Yeah. He was a very quiet man. As soon as he was through governor, you never heard of him again.
I know.
And he was in between the Comos. Mario Como and his son. Yeah.
Yes, sirree. He was. Really great. My husband knew him, and he was just wonderful. He's a really nice guy.
And folks, you should read the history of Eleanor Roosevelt going up and down the Hudson Valley. They principally lived in Manhattan, although they had this tremendous estate up in Hyde Park, right there.
Yeah, it's still there.
Yes, and people go and visit it. And of course, he led us through World War II, and he got us through, and there's no question about that. And then I always liked her, Chris, because she did so much for human rights.
Right.
And also the thing about her is I want to be like her for animal rights, honey. I want animals to have rights the way humans do.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
You don't do
Nothing better than coming into a house and having your dog run up and so excited to see you.
Now, is there anything you want to say? Amy, how much time does Chris have?
3 minutes.
3 minutes. Chris, anything in your 3 minutes that...
I would like to thank you for this opportunity, and I know my dad is gleaming from above because he was always such a hard-working man, and he had vision, and it was so great that he was determined to start the school, and now see 40 years later that it's
Sure.
here.
Sure. Tell me your dad's name in full, honey.
Ernest Lewis Fusco.
Yes. Well,
My mom is Frances, Frances. Frances.
Was she active in the business, honey?
Yes, she was. She taught here. She had her license. My sister Claudine taught here and is still a hairdresser. Does amazing work.
Really? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been in the family.
Well, you have answered the question what you do for the public and what you would like the public to do for you. I think we covered it pretty well.
I think so as well.
Oh, I have a barber joke. You want to hear it?
Sure.
The barber asks his client, where are you going to go for your vacation? And the client says, I'm going to go to Rome. And the barber says, you won't like Rome. The beds are hard, the food is no good. You'll never get to see the Pope. And the young man was discouraged. But he decided to go anyway. And when he got back, the barber says, where'd you go on your vacation? And the young man says, I went to Rome. The food was delicious, the beds were comfortable, and I did get to see the Pope. The barber says, you got to see the Pope? What did the Pope say to you? And the young man said, he pat me on the head 3 times, and then he said to me, where did you get that haircut? Listen, Chris, anything else to say?
No, other than thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
You're going to be on TV on LT's Cablevision, you know, the old Cablevision system. Is that right? Do I have that right? Yeah, it's the old Cablevision system, honey. LT's, and you're going to be on...
Is that channel 12?
No, honey, it's 1301.
Oh, 1301.
Oh, no, you're right. Oh, I think it is Public Access 12. You're right. Is that right, Chris? Is Public Access channel 12?
I think so.
Okay.
The local one that I think is around here, I could always call Cablevision and find out.
And Chris, within the hour, I would say within the next 2 hours, you are going to be on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube.
And I'll be on that in the A Chat with Glendora.
Yeah, A Chat with Glendora, and your friend Amy here is going to start uploading you just as soon as we hang up, honey. And then a week or so later, you will start going on in my 76 TV stations from Boston to San Diego. Isn't that
Wow.
Now think how happy your dad will be.
He's going to be amazed.
Is this it? We have to go now, Amy?
We're at 29 minutes.
Oh, Chris, say goodbye in a hurry, honey.
Bye.
Bye, Chris.
Stay well. Thank you.
Say goodbye to Amy.
Keep up the great work. Bye, Amy. Thank you again.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye, sweetheart.
All right, thanks.